And to thank you all for joining, and it's just such an honor to be with you. This is week 5, so we're past the halfway mark now. So I know that people are having changes and quite a good impact for massive things within their lives, and I'm really excited to be a part of that and walking with you as you find your natural flow and your natural way of things. All you need for this workshop is yourself. A handkerchief may be helpful, or some tissues, an open, curious mind, something to write on and with at some point, and it's always good to have a drink too. So it's going to be quite an interesting process, lots of deep thought moments, and then switching to making some notes and then dropping back into the deep thought, always in kind of a state of theta, so half asleep, half awake. The session is based on the practice of Yoga Nidra. I'm not going to go into the Yoga Nidra on a huge thing with you all, because you don't need to know. All you need to know is that Yoga Nidra, it helps you find your flow through tuning you into your purpose through deep looking at turning inward. And yoga, of course, means union, so it's all about finding a balance between body, mind and spirit. So I mean, everything's yoga, like every kind of bit of this course, everything that we do in life, especially working on ourselves and looking for the light in ourselves, it's all yoga. It's only like you something to call something by, if that makes sense. You can choose to call it yoga, or you can choose to call it life, you can choose to call it something else, but basically it's all the same thing. So we're understanding who we are and finding our direction. There we go. So what we're made up of, we're made up of our physical, which is our actions, our emotional, which is our how we feel, social, which is how we are impacted by the society that we live in and the people we have contact with, the environmental part of us, which is what we're connected to in our environment. No worries. So it's all the things in the space around us. Our cognitive part of ourselves is our thinking, knowing and remembering brain. Our intellectual part of us is our logical brain. The language is how we communicate physically, verbally and spiritually. If you remember, we don't just speak with our mouth, we speak with our bodies, we speak with our eyes, we speak with our gestures. So all language is important. And of course, our spiritual side of self, which is there's something in us that wants to connect to something bigger than just our ego. So we're going to explore each part of I am. So to do this, I'd like you to draw a circle and then cut the circle into quarters, as you can see, and then cut each quarter in half. Don't worry too much about your circle not being circular. It's okay. What you'll find is as well, you need to do it relatively big. You need a fairly big circle because you're going to be writing in each section of the pie or the wheel. It's technically a wheel. So this is the wheel of who you are. So each of these pieces of wheel are you. So if you just let me know once you've drawn your circle by saying I, or putting a little hand up, or writing in the chat.
Done.
Super. Oh. And now we're going to label each part. Oh, yeah, label each part. So the first one should be put number 1, family and close friends. Number 2 should be social circle and friends. Number 3 should be work and study. And if anyone's got any question, like you want me to elaborate on each bit, please tell me and we'll make sure it's really clear in your head so you know what it is, what it covers. Number 4 is financial. So it's anything at all to do with money. 5, it's health of mind and body. 6 is interests and hobbies. 7 is self-expression. 8 is your spiritual or self-belief system. So it can be any kind of, you don't have to relate to spirituality. If you just relate to a higher and wiser part of yourself, maybe. So it's all about that. So you're relating to each of the sections of your life. Has anyone got any questions on anything that they'd like to so they know which, how to clarify which is which? And regards financial, I don't need to know anything. It's all about you're not sharing your deepest things to do with your finances. I'm going to be asking you questions. You're going to be feeling into your body whilst in a state of hypnosis or journeying or deep meditation for a short period of time, at which point you're going to feel into how you feel about it and rate it on a scale. So it's not about sharing any information as such. It's all about how it feels to you and what number you gift it. I'm trying to think most people know that family can be like your partner or you're nearly a partner, and close friends, social circle and friends. So that they can be like people that you kind of see down the pub or at the park or at a yoga group, but they're not necessarily people you spend with all the time, lots of time with. Work and study. Some of you may work, some of you may not work. But work is anything where and study is anything where you're applying your time for something that benefits you in some way. Financial is all about how you feel financially in all aspects of your life. The health of mind and body is simply how well, contemplating your well-being in your mind and your body. Your interests and hobbies are what you're interested in and maybe things that you do frequently to fill your time or you'd like to do frequently. Self-expression is, do you have ways of expressing yourself? Do you dance? Do you sing? Do you create? Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you drum? Do you play music? All these different things. And then 8 is spiritual or self-belief system. So that finding the light in yourself or finding something that you believe in. So we're not talking about limiting beliefs here. We're talking about your general belief system. Maybe it's a religion. Maybe it's not a religion. Maybe you just believe in yourself. Once you've got all 8 written down, please let me know. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to know, sort of, do we write what we see on the screen, or are we writing something else?
You want to know?
Are we writing what we see on the screen, or
That's correct. Yeah, you're just copying what you see on the screen. So where it says like family, close friends, you're writing that, or and
yeah,
ideally with the number that's there. So 1, 2. That's great. You can write things around your circle if it doesn't fit in. I've done that before, and because this is one of my practices that I do fairly frequently, not as often as I do my core values mind, but I still do this maybe a couple of times a year. So especially when I'm feeling really fuzzy and need to get into some like find some focus, or try and think like find a bit more direction in my life, this is the exercise that I go to. And sometimes I draw the circle and then think, oh, how am I going to write in that? So I put it around it. It still works. You are writing something else in the sections as well when it's time, but that's not very much at all. But something else will go in there when it's time. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's good to be clear. It'd be good for me, even better if I'm clearer. So I'm just thinking there's 7 of us here on the call, and I've got 5 people who've said they've done it. So cheers. And there's one more person, I think, that we're waiting for. No, you're good. Perfect circle. Yeah, I've done that as well. it helps sometimes, doesn't it? It does. We're getting our going around the bottom of our cups and stuff like that, trying to make it right. Just checking in. Oh, I'm whizzing ahead there. It's bloody 38 degrees here today. It's like, man, toasty. I feel like pizza. So I'm trying to see, is everyone else done? Because there's one person I'll message them. Does everyone know how to do a little thumbs up if they've got one? In many belief systems, the aim is to become pure and perfect, selfless and unconditional love. which is the practice of Ho'oponopono is no different. As we know, we've all explored Ho'oponopono, and it's all about tuning into ourselves. So today I'm going to bring Ho'oponopono into yoga. It doesn't get done many places, if at all, but we get it done here. We're aiming to erase, so we're aiming to clear our judgments, and we're aiming for the zero state. So we're aiming to clear away anything that no longer serves us and really get ourselves back on track. In Ho'oponopono, we're aiming for zero, always aiming for a clear mind and that peace of mind, that peace of I, the zero state, the I, which is pure love and perfect. So we're going to add a scale now to your circle. So to remember that we're going to be aiming for a full circle where everything will be nice and smooth. So if it was a wheel, yeah, when everything's just absolutely perfect and we're in our zero state of flow, everything will be at zero. So if you put a zero on the outside where your tire or wheel would be, the tire would be on your wheel. And then if you add the number 10 to the center, now the 10 is where your spindle would be. And that is like, if you are as far from inner peace as possibly could be in this aspect of your life, that's 10. So if you think of the other time we were doing scales, it was 0 is absolutely fantastic and 10 is can't get worse than. 0 is harmony and balance. 10 is unstable with conflict. And we're going to go on a journey together, and the journey into your subconscious. To be able to do this exercise, you need a compassionate heart and an open mind. We'll join together in a short breathing exercise, which will connect you to your heart space. And then I'm going to ask you to turn inward using loving awareness as we take a few moments to look into each aspect of your life. As with any journey into the subconscious, your ego may wish to bring many things into your mind, including negative self-talk and self-judgment and criticism and blame and shame and guilt. Please don't dismiss the thoughts. Don't get caught in the delusion. You're simply allowing yourself to detach and become a witness. You're observing the thoughts. So as an observer, as if you're watching a movie, you're just going to acknowledge the thoughts, and then watch them go, let them be. And they'll just float off on their own. Something else will take its place. I won't be asking you to share anything in the session. So when I ask the question, that what rises up inside you is for you. It's an opportunity, an invitation to contemplate what is arising. And with all awareness exercises, they're designed to raise your self-awareness. They're awareness exercises and not judgment exercises. After the session, so each session, I'm going to invite you to journal anything at all that comes up for you, both your waking life, so in your waking life, so when you're about doing your thing, going to work, when you're about with your day, trundling down the road, walking the dog, seeing the chickens, whatever you're doing, and your dream life. So also when you're asleep, what comes up for you? And no, I'm only ever a message away if you want or need anything. Remember, it's really important that you don't deal with trauma and grief, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Because when you do, and you go to see someone maybe to hold space for you who doesn't know about this stuff, it's incredibly fucking dangerous. It's so important to come to safe space where someone is trained in these things that can help you. So you go, you know, we all love to explore things ourselves and take things as far as we can. But when we need to, there's nothing wrong with reaching out and connecting with someone who knows what they're doing and make sure they know what they're doing. So we're going to take a moment to connect to our heart space now. And this is the I am the breath meditation. And as we breathe in, know that I am the breath. And breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. Breathing in, I am the breath. Breathing out, I am the I. And now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and focus on family and close friends. What points come to mind? Don't forget, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's all about awareness. What feelings are arising inside of you? What desires do you have around your close family and close friends? Now imagine yourself stepping outside of that physical body of yours, stepping outside of your body consort and witnessing yourself with your family and close friends stood in front of you. What points come to mind now? What feelings are arising inside of you? What desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction? Slowly opening your eyes now. And while everything is fresh in your mind, I'm going to read out this part of your life. You're going to give only this part a number of you, which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within it. Placing the number into the wheel of I using a scale of 0, which is pure, perfect, and cannot possibly be improved. And 10, it couldn't get any worse, but it can certainly get better. So if you'd now like to place a number in the segment that represents family and close friends, number 1, family and close friends. 0, couldn't get any better, perfect harmony and balance. And 10 is unstable and conflict. Remembering this is an awareness exercise and not a judgment exercise. It's perfectly okay to be however it is. And there's always room for things to get much better. And there's always things that can get much worse. And with a lot of awareness, things certainly will rise towards zero, which sounds a bit funny, rising towards zero. Maybe 10 should be a minus, but 10 is certainly not where you want to be. We're aiming to clear away all those things that no longer serve us, and we're aiming for the zero state, the peace of I. Now closing your eyes again now, focusing on your social circle and your friends. What points are coming to mind? What feelings arise inside of you? What desires do you have? Now imagining stepping outside of your physical body, leaving your body consort and becoming a witness to yourself, mixing with your social circle and friends. What points come to mind? What feelings arise inside of you? What desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction? And don't forget, social circles may or may not exist, but if they don't exist, you don't have to have, you don't have one. It would be great to have one and an important part of life, but having none at the moment, I don't necessarily have a social circle myself. I know that when I'm ready, I will get one. And until then, I'm just gonna carry on doing me and doing what I do. And when it's the right time, one will come. But being individual beings, we're so unique and so special. It can be difficult to find the right kind of people to want to spend your time with outside of work. And maybe your social circle, if it's anything like mine, if you don't count humans, because I don't really have humans in the social circle, I have animals. And if you count my animals, I've got a huge social circle of chickens and dogs and stuff. And we're okay on that level. So whatever happens, don't worry. Don't think that there's anything wrong with you. And everything happens at the right time for the right reasons. So stepping outside of your physical body, becoming a witness and observing yourself, mixing with that social circle or not seeing a social circle of humans at all, what thoughts and points come to mind? What feelings are arising inside of you? And what desires do you have? Is this an area of life where you can feel any sense of purpose or direction? Maybe a little draw, or maybe not. Maybe no draw at all. Maybe no pull. And whatever it is perfectly all right. We're all perfectly imperfect. That's a beautiful way to be. Slowly opening your eyes now. And while everything is fresh in your mind, I'm going to read out the part of your life, giving only this part of you a number in which you honestly feel reflects the harmony and balance within that. Placing the number into the wheel of I, using the scale of 0 for pure, perfect, cannot possibly be improved, to 10. It couldn't get any worse, but it certainly can get better. So for your social circle and friends, number 2, your social circle and friends. If you place a number in there that symbolises or represents where you are on that scale. Maybe you've got an amazing social circle that couldn't get any better and it would be a 0. And maybe you haven't got a social circle at all in any form and it would be a 10. And maybe you've got a social circle of animals or something else. Whatever it is, wherever you're at in your life right now, no, it's perfectly okay and just perfectly, the imperfection is perfect and you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Exactly where you're supposed to be. So place that number without any worry onto the circle, onto this wheel of I, and know that we're aiming one day we're going to be at 0 in every aspect of our lives, maybe not in this lifetime, but certainly in another. And this is just an awareness exercise to help us work out where we'd like to put some effort in and where we wouldn't, and how we can possibly go about making our lives focus and clear and have a bit more direction. Moving across now, allowing your attention to shift to your work and your study. Please close your eyes. Focusing on your work or your study, or your work and your study. What points come to mind? Maybe you don't work. Maybe you don't study. Maybe you don't work or study. What points come to mind? What feelings arise inside of you? What desires do you have? Imagine yourself now stepping outside of your body consort, your physical body, witnessing yourself while you are at work or studying. What points are coming to mind? Maybe you don't work or study, and maybe you're doing something else. Maybe you'd like to work or like to study. Maybe you wouldn't want to work or wouldn't want to study. Whatever it is perfectly okay. It's thinking about what points come to mind right now. Feelings, what feelings are arising deep inside of you? What desires have you got? Desires around work and study. Can you feel any pull, any draw, any sense of purpose or direction at all in this area of your life? There's no right, there's no wrong. You're exactly where you need to be in this moment. Slowly opening your eyes now, while everything's still fresh in your mind. I will read out a part of your life and give only this part of you a number, which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within this section of your life, this aspect. Placing the number into the wheel of I, using the scale of 0. 0 is pure, perfect, and cannot possibly be improved. And 10 couldn't get any worse, and it certainly can get better. This is an awareness exercise, not a judgment exercise. It's not blame. There's nothing wrong going on here. You're not doing anything wrong. There's plenty of room for improvement in any direction. And placing into work and study a number on your wheel, which represents where you feel you are right now. 0 being perfect, in harmony and balance, and 10 being unstable and in conflict. Taking a moment now to breathe, closing your eyes, focusing now on your finances. What points come to mind? What feelings are arising inside of you? And what desires do you have? Imagine yourself now stepping out of your body consort, stepping out of that physical body to observe yourself as a witness while you're studying your income and expenditure. What points come to mind? What feelings are arising inside of you? And what desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction in this aspect of your life? Any draw, any pull? No, whatever you feel, however you feel this moment, it's all perfect. And you're heading towards a higher awareness of self in which you're able to make huge changes, just slowly and gently, as you grow and evolve into a higher, wiser person. And slowly opening your eyes. And while everything is still fresh in your mind, I will read out this part of your life, and you give only this part of you a number, which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within it. Placing the number into the wheel of I, using the scale of 10 being pure and perfect and cannot possibly be improved. And 10, it really couldn't get any worse, but it really can certainly get better. 0 represents perfect harmony and balance. 10 is unstable and conflict. For the financial area of your life, number 4, the financial area, aspect, section, piece of you. Please place a number into the wheel, and knowing it's exactly where it needs to be right now, just an honest reflection, so you can raise your awareness of where you are right now in this moment, in that one aspect of your life. Knowing this is an awareness exercise and not a judgment exercise. And everything is as it's supposed to be right now. And closing your eyes again now. And just breathing, allowing yourself to breathe. Maybe place your hand on your chest. Tuning back into the breath. And closing your eyes. Bringing your attention to the health of your body and your mind. What points come to mind? What feelings arise inside of you? What desires do you have regards the health of your body and mind? And now imagine yourself stepping outside of your physical body, becoming a witness, witnessing yourself like you are now your best friend. How healthy do you really appear? And if you are your best friend, what points would come to mind witnessing the health of your body and mind, watching you, watching that physical body go about their day, go about their being? What points are coming to mind right now? What feelings arise deep inside of you? And what desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction regards the health of your body and your mind? Slowly opening your eyes now, aware that this is an awareness exercise. And while everything is still fresh in your mind, I will read out this part of your life, giving only this part of you a number which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within it. placing the number into the wheel of I using the scale where 0 represents pure, perfect and cannot possibly be improved, and 10 couldn't get any worse but can certainly get better. Number 5, the health of mind and body. Which number on the scale most represents that? Where you're at now, here in this moment. Is the perfect harmony and balance? Or you're not quite there yet? Maybe it's so unstable and there's so much conflict. You're at a 10. There's always room for improvement. This is simply an awareness exercise so that you know where you need to put your flow and your energy at. There is no wrong. It's all just exactly how it's supposed to be in your life and here in this moment.
Hello.
I'm moving across now to consider your interests and hobbies. So taking a breath now. Moving across to consider interests and hobbies, closing our eyes and working on what points are coming to mind regards interests and hobbies. What feelings are arising inside of you? And what desires do you have? So yeah, interests and hobbies, points coming to mind, the feelings arising inside of you, and what desires that you have. And imagine yourself stepping outside now of your physical body, stepping outside of your physical body consort and becoming a witness to how you spend your free time. What points come to mind and what feelings arise inside of you and what desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction? Slowly opening your eyes now. And while everything is still fresh in your mind, I'm going to read out a part of your life, giving only this part of you a number, which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within it. Place the number into the wheel of I using the scale of 0, pure, perfect, and cannot possibly be improved. And 10, it couldn't get any worse, but it certainly can get better. So 0 represents perfect harmony and balance in your life. So looking at the wheel of I now for your interests and hobbies, if you can place a number on the scale, 0 being perfect and 10 representing unstable and with conflict. And know whatever's happening right now, it's all perfect. And taking you to a realization of where it needs to be. Closing your eyes now, contemplating self-expression. When you're contemplating your self-expression, what points come to mind? What feelings arise inside of you? And what desires do you have? And now imagine yourself stepping outside of your physical body, becoming a witness, an observer. And how do you express yourself physically and verbally? What points come to mind? What feelings are arising inside of you? And what desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction right now? And slowly opening your eyes, while everything is still fresh in your mind, I'm going to read out this part of your life, giving only this part of you a number which you feel honestly reflects the balance and the harmony within it. Placing the number onto the wheel of I using the scale of 0, pure, perfect, and cannot possibly be improved. Up to 10, it couldn't get any worse, but it certainly can get better. Zero is representing perfect harmony and balance. 10 represents unstable and with conflict. So please place a number that represents where you feel you are at the moment regarding your self-expression. We're on to number 8 now. I'm going to drop back into our bodies, taking a breath, breathing in, bringing to mind spiritual beliefs and your personal beliefs. What points come into mind? What feelings arise inside of you? And what desires do you have? Imagine yourself now stepping outside of your physical body. Becoming a witness. Observe what you do to connect to the higher power or a higher power, and look at what you do believe. Like, what is it that you believe? What points come to mind? What feelings are arising inside of you? What desires do you have? Can you feel any sense of purpose or direction at all? Slowly opening your eyes now. And while everything is still fresh in your mind, I'm going to read out this part of your life, giving only this part of your number, which you feel honestly reflects the harmony and balance within it. Place the number into the wheel of I, using the scale of 0, meaning pure, perfect, and it cannot possibly be improved, to 10, it could not get any worse, but it really can get better. So number 8, your spiritual self-belief system. 10 being unstable and full of conflict. And 0 is perfect harmony and balance. Where do you feel that you are on this scale? If you can please place a number that you feel honestly reflects that into the wheel. And now during each journey, did you feel any sense of purpose or direction? If you did, please place a little star or a little line or a little wiggle in the section or sections that you felt called to move towards. Now, please note, if you did not feel any sense of direction or purpose, do not worry. Please start paying attention to the thoughts that pop up during your day and your dreams at night, because there'll be something there. Maybe an animal spirit guide will appear to you. Maybe you'll see feathers or find a little rock or something. Something will happen and you'll click in and you'll be like, okay. So there's nothing wrong and there's never anything to worry about. It's just simply raising our awareness of what is at the moment and becoming aware of our whole self, every aspect. Remember, this is an awareness exercise. It's to establish a deeper understanding of who you are. It's identifying areas in which you need to look at to move forward. There is no reason to feel bad about what you discover. Very few people have everything in perfect order or know which direction they're heading in any areas of life whatsoever at all. And now we're going to draw a line at where each number should be. So this visual here shows you where the work needs doing to find a balance. So this was actually a copy of my wheel, not today, but when I did it. So in each aspect of my life, when I first did this wheel, which was a few years ago, this is where I was at in these aspects of my life. And today it'll look much different. I should draw it and put it up against it to show how much we do grow. But I mean, in my spiritual aspects of me now, wow, I'd say that I'm maybe a 2, whereas I was at an 8. Regards my family and things, we never used to talk. I never talked to any of them. So I reckon I must be maybe a 4 or a 3 now, because I actually talk to my family and have interactions, really positive ones. So all these things really make a difference. My social circle, I don't really have one apart from the animals. If you look at me and my animals friends, I'd probably get heading for a 0. But regards my human friends, you're probably looking at somewhere around 9. So we all have work to do in each aspect of our lives. And by drawing a line in, it makes kind of like a little webby thing. And it shows us where we're at and where we can put our focus on to find which areas of our life need to have balance, or we can bring back balance and find some harmony. The aim is to reach zero. When our levels are off balance, we're not going to turn right. So if that was our tyre and you ignore the zeros, can you imagine the state of our journey down the road? We'd give ourselves a sore neck, if nothing else. It'd be worse than driving a hardtail. But our journeys are very bumpy. But the more work that we do on ourselves and the more conscious we are, the more aware we are of the different aspects of our life, the more we can bring things back into balance for where we're at in each moment. So take a moment to contemplate where you are at in your life. And what would it take for you to go from where you're at now, today, to zero? Life is a journey. It is not a destination. So we're not focusing on the future. We're focusing on the here and now. We're going to enjoy the journey. We're aiming for the zero. We're aiming for the top of the mountain. The only thing we need in each moment is loving awareness. As any issues arise on our journey, we have the opportunity to choose how we respond. We are now able to breathe and take ourselves back into our heart space, responding from a place of clarity and compassion, where we get a better sense of understanding. So by cleaning before anything, cleaning as in doing our Ho'oponopono, we're preparing that what is coming up. So we're preparing for what's coming up. We're preparing ourselves during situations that do arise, and we're preparing ourselves to manage with whatever's coming up after something's come up, so we can learn to manage taking responsibility for our own lives. We're open to inspiration and intuitive guidance, and we gain more direction, more focus in our lives. And all this enables our journey to become a lot less bumpy and life more balanced. Now is the perfect time to acknowledge yourself, and applying the same method of loving awareness. Witness yourself as compassionately as you are. Accept you exactly where you need to be in this moment. Your journey brought you here today, and now you know much more clearer where to begin. So if you close your eyes for a moment while I read this. Dear me, I know I have made many mistakes in many different areas of my life. I'm sorry that I made wrong decisions. I always did the best that I could. Please forgive me for all my incorrect choices, my incorrect thoughts, my incorrect actions and behaviour that led me to where I am today. And I thank you, because all these years, despite my poor judgments, you have still stuck by me. Despite the impacts on my health and well-being, you are still there and still trying. I'm so grateful we can now work together and share the same goal, moving forward with purpose and direction, taking on responsibility, knowing exactly which areas need cleaning on. I love you. I love you. I realise that I am important. I realise that I matter. I realise that I deserve love, and I love myself so much. I take full responsibility for my actions and behaviours. Self-care is a necessity. My voice matters. My thoughts are my own. I'm not responsible for you. I'm not responsible for anyone but myself. I'm responsible for my body. It's my choice. I can love me. I am honouring my truth. My body is my temple. I have self-respect. No is a full sentence, and I forgive myself. I'm only responsibility for my thoughts and my actions. I matter. I am grateful, and I'm working towards a greater and higher good. And I thank you, the universe, or the higher self, for bringing things into my awareness, because when we clean on any aspect of our lives, we're opening up to new opportunities. we're able to take inspired action towards making our dreams a reality. Our clearer vision helps us to see potential obstacles so we can clean on them, discover new ways around them. Whatever your wheel looks like, you now know where you want to be focusing on and where you want to clean, where you want to say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. You might want to tap for a bit of extra power. You know, you might not want to tap at all. Maybe that didn't resonate. Could try rain meditation. Bring into mind wherever your resistance is. Recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. You've uncovered a lot today in this evening's exercise. So we're going to finish tonight by cleaning on the resistance together. So please take a moment to bring to mind an issue that you'd most like to clean on, whatever it is, if you just bring it to the forefront of your mind. And we're going to repeat the statements. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Focusing on the problem, focusing on the resistance. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Whatever it is that's at the forefront of your mind, that resistance, that frustration, cleaning on it, knowing that you can head in for zero, you can work on whatever's showing up through the mantra. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Remembering you're talking to yourself, loving yourself through this. You're saying sorry for not being kind to yourself all the time and having high expectations that are ridiculous and unrealistic. You're learning to be kind to yourself. So you're going to forgive yourself for not always being as kind to yourself as you deserve. And you're grateful for an opportunity. Each opportunity is an opportunity for cleaning and for growth. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. So we can tap, we can ho'oponopono, we can rain whenever resistance comes up to you. You have your awareness circle now. Let's pull that back up. So you have this circle. And now you have it for reference, not for judgment, not for criticism, not for blame, not for shame, not for guilt. So fucking what? This is where you are today, exactly here and now. And there is nothing wrong with wherever you're at, in whichever area of life it is. It's perfect. Know that it's perfect. Take my word for it. It's perfect. It's perfect when people ignore what you say. It's perfect when people disrespect you. It's perfect whatever happens in the moment, because it shows you where you've got work to do. It shows you where you can improve. It shows you where there's things that are not in balance with your life and your truth. And it shows you where you can improve on. And we can be grateful for that. We've got something there that helps us. So we may think like we need to improve something, and watch how our life through this aspect of this practice, it's yoga nidra turned into my style, mixed with the ho'oponopono. This really helps you bring back balance. It really does help you find your focus, because you're looking at it as what it is. You applying your core values, you're feeling into things, you know there's resistance in your life, and you know just by the 4 phrases of the ho'oponopono, that shit can shift, and you can become lighter, and you can lose weight, and you can head for zero.